Hello everybody, and welcome back to the weekly national forecast. My name is James Cuellar. I'm here with the Oklahoma Weather Lab and partners with the Southern Climate Impacts Planning Program. And our top stories this week, we're going to be focusing on the southern rainfall. Much of us across the south will likely be seeing some pretty excessive rainfall throughout the week. We are going to have a very warm start to March, and we do have a drought update for you guys on the west coast and in southern Texas. Now, our first story that we're going to cover is going to be the rainfall across the south. We could likely see 2 to 4 inches of rain across south central and southeastern portions of the United States. Most of this rain appears to be coming on Tuesday, where we have a slight risk of excessive rainfall in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico, central Texas, and southern Alabama, where we will likely be seeing some excessive rainfall for the day on Tuesday. We do have a marginal risk that surrounds these areas for excessive rainfall for the day on Tuesday. Now, going to our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, the main story is going to be the very, very warm temperatures as we go out of winter and into spring for a lot of us here in the central United States. Along the west coast, we will likely be seeing some below average temperatures and maybe a possibility of some cooler weather in southern Florida, but most of us will likely be seeing those above average temperatures, particularly, once again, in the center part of the country. Now, going on to our precipitation outlook, most of us will likely be seeing some above average precipitation, especially in the southwest, where we definitely need the rain. We haven't seen a whole lot of rain during the rainy season, so this will definitely bring some relief as we get into that 6 to 10 day time frame. Those of us in the southeast will also be seeing some relief, as we will likely have below average precipitation. We definitely need the break from all the rain that we've gotten this winter across the southeast. We could also see a small chance of below average precipitation in the Pacific Northwest. Going on to our 8 to 14 day time frame, once again, those above average temperatures will be dominating for a lot of us here across most of the United States, I should say, rather, as we definitely have a very dominant bridging pattern that's going to be taking place in this 8 to 14 day time frame. We also do have a small chance of below average temperatures in the Pacific Northwest, but once again, most of us will likely be seeing these above average temperatures. As we go into our 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, it actually looks very, very similar to the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Once again, the southwest is the hot spot for above average precipitation, where once again we do need a lot of that rain to make up for our pretty dry rainy season that we've had so far. Do have a couple pockets of some below average precipitation chances over here in northern Florida, and in Oregon we could see some below average precipitation in the 8 to 14 day time frame. Now, as we go on to our drought monitor, once again, we are focusing across the west coast, particularly northern California and southern Oregon, where we are seeing an expansion of the moderate drought, as we really haven't seen a whole lot of rain during our rainy season. Across the Four Corners region, once again, this drought's been pretty consistent. Moderate to severe drought in this area really hasn't gone away, but it hasn't gotten any worse. It's been pretty stagnant throughout the winter months, so that'll be something that we'll be focusing on going into spring as well, seeing if that recedes or not. And then across southern Texas, once again, this extreme drought has been expanding. Even with some of the recent rainfall that we've had, it just hasn't really been enough to get this drought out of here. So moderate to severe to even pockets of extreme drought will likely be expanding as we go on to the future, as even though we do have chances for above average rainfall, it probably won't be enough to stop this drought expansion, so it'll likely be persisting as we go into spring. Now, for our March temperature outlook, once again, most of us will likely be seeing these above average temperatures as we go into March, or at least for the entire month of March, especially the eastern 2/3 of the country. Those of us in the Pacific Northwest, small chance for below average temperatures, but definitely the story as we go into spring. These above average temperatures will definitely be dominating for a lot of us here in the United States. Now, in our precipitation outlook, it's kind of like a little bit of here and there. We could see some above average precipitation in the Ohio River Valley, in the central Mississippi River Valley. Along the Gulf Coast, we'll likely be seeing some below average precipitation, particularly in the Florida Peninsula. Those of us in the Central Plains could be seeing some below average precipitation. Those of us way, way up north and across the southwest could see some above average precipitation for the month of March. So that will be something to look out for. And now, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube to follow us every single Monday for these podcasts whenever they get uploaded. And be sure to have a fantastic week, you guys.